Hey guys, this is Bart coming to you from TST Industries HQ in Florida, bringing you another episode of TST Garage. Here we have a 2018 and up Yamaha MT-07, and we'll be exploring some signal options to show you guys what we have in store for you. Now, we've had on the market for a good amount of time now pod signal options and flush mount signal options to replace these pumpkin style OEM signals, and those have been doing really well. But in the recent couple months, we released the Mech-GTR signaling system that we found has gotten very popular with the MT line owners. And in this video, we'll show you how to mount these on this bike. These signals feature a high power LED system firing through really sophisticated optics to bring you a really large amount of light from a small area. We also have, coupled with these signals, a halo perimeter light module that just plugs in like this, and that provides a running light through this halo ring around the base. Now, I mentioned before, we've been selling pod signal lights that mount sort of like the pod signals that OEMs make. We have the flush mounts. Those are really flush against the body components, but they are small and they also don't have as much light punch as the other options. So for the Mech-GTR signals, we've decided to do something that we call a flush pod type signal. It is sort of a pod, but it fits flush against the bodywork, and it's very low profile. And like I said, it does pack a big punch for the signaling circuit. This is a pretty simple installation, made even simpler through not using any mechanical screw fasteners. What we've done is we've designed a ratcheting piece that fits on the backside of the bodywork and just ratchets in place. It has these springy teeth that pressurize against the bodywork to provide the force necessary to keep these on the bike and also resist removal from vibration. So I think it'll probably take us about 5 to 10 minutes per side. The right side of the bike is actually a little bit simpler, so we'll start here and we'll walk you through it step by step. To get started, we will be removing this panel here. This is done via the removal of this fastener and also 2 fasteners under here using a 4mm Allen. Once those fasteners are out, we'll need to extract this panel out perpendicular to the center plane of the bike. There are a number of engaging clips that dislodge in that fashion. You can see here we have some interference geometry that interfaces with a rubber grommet and a series of clips. It's all fairly easy to do. And now we have access to the electrical connection here. We're going to undo this cable routing guide and find the plug and disconnect it. Now we can switch to a 5mm Allen and pull out these 2 screws. And now on the back side of this piece, we have the Yamaha specific mounting hardware for the signals. The rubber boot pries away, and we just pull this plastic piece out. It's sort of a jam piece. It's really easy to remove. So once we remove that, we'll grasp the signal, twist, and pull, and it just comes out. I'll just quickly illustrate for you guys how this sits in there so you know what to do. We have these windows in the rubber boot, and this jam piece is in there protruding through those windows. Once you pry away on that rubber boot window, this piece will come out freely. And the rest is as I showed you. So now we'll take one of our signals that we just procured for this bike and insert the accent lighting piece. Now these pieces don't come assembled. The reason being that we do offer a number of different color choices. For this bike, we've chosen hyper white, but we do have amber, soft white, and a couple other colors that may interest you. More of that info is available on our website, tstindustries.com. This piece just fits in there with the little clips that can easily be seen on both of these pieces. Then we just plug it in, and this is ready to go on the bike. These signals are not side specific, they will be identical on both sides. We insert it from the outside to the inside. Then we take one of the ratcheting clips, slide it over with the teeth going on first, and we engage the ratchet mechanism. Now on this particular bike, Yamaha designed in these fins on the back side of this setup. So we will either need to modify the teeth on our spring clip mechanism or modify the Yamaha end of things. The reason for that is our teeth fit in between these little gusset fins, and then the signal doesn't position correctly on this whole setup. So I will show you how to modify it so that it fits properly. So what I've found on this bike is that it's much simpler to clip off these gusset fins to the depth where they will not interfere with this. But I know some of you guys will have reservations as to modifying an OEM piece, even though this is a $9 piece at mrcycles.com. We're just gonna go about it the other way, where we will modify our new piece so that everything fits nicely in here. So what I see here immediately is that there is interference between these teeth that fit into those fins and these teeth. So I will just cut those to be thinner so we could transpose towards the rear of the motorcycle, looking from the outside in towards that way. So let me now make this modification. This can be done with diagonal cutters. And let's see how it fits now. All right, that's pretty good. I'm going to modify one more set of teeth on the top and bottom. And now we're looking good. So let's now get our signal back in through the outside. Get our ratchet clip in place. And I'm going to grab a flathead screwdriver to help me with proper engagement here. I want to pressurize those teeth a little bit. So the ratchet needs to go to the bottom. And we can check from the outside, make sure it's not moving around. That's when you know it's pressurized to the right level. And let's plug it in, see what we've done. All right, so we have the white halo light, and we have our signal flashing. As you can see, we are flashing faster than the OEM 85 cycles per minute rate. This just happens because we're using LED components and they draw much less current than the OEM incandescent lights, and that will trip up your OEM relay. If you want to correct this, we recommend using our Gen 2 flasher relay. It's a plug-and-play component. I'll show you the location on the left side of the bike. It takes roughly 5 minutes to install it, and you could also adjust the flash rate by slipping off the gray cover and adjusting a little potentiometer in there. Let's power the bike down and continue with the installation. So now we have just a little bit more wire bulk than the OEM setup. I'm going to mock this up here. Grab one of my screws that came out of this location and get it in there. Engage the thread. I just want this to be self-supporting here. I'm going to engage the lower one as well. All right, so now what to do with the wires. We can theoretically use a wire tie and tie them off to the frame, or we could just hide them up in here by the use of this routing guide cable management clip. It's just what you prefer. And now we could just go in the reverse order of disassembly and jump onto the other side. On the rear fastener here, I've found that the grommet for this fastener can shift, and then you're getting the head of your fastener off center. So what I like to do is, before I bottom it out, I will adjust this so that it is center, and then everything looks great. All right, let's head on to the other side. We're going to start the procedure on the left side with the removal of this panel again, 4mm Allen. Same fastener locations. You can access the wiring here. Disconnect the plug. Remove these two fasteners. On this side, we're going to be brave, and we're actually going to clip off the gusset fins so that I can illustrate for you guys what needs to be done. I'll show you guys what I've done here. Basically cut back these fins so that they do not interfere with our ratchet piece. That looks pretty good here. I'm going to assemble my light with the running light module. Pass the wires through the slot, engage the clips, and we're good to go. Everything's looking good here. I think I want to push down on the leading edge a little bit more. And we're A-okay. All right. One of these spacers popped out of the screw holes. If they do pop out on you guys, the smaller diameter goes into the well. And then we place it back on the bike. Now I'll plug it in and test it so I don't get too far. Make sure everything's working properly. We have halo, we have signal. Now we'll have to manage the wires. On this bike, what I like to do is just push it up over the coolant hose, and that will be obscured by the other panel that we'll replace in a second. I'll bottom these guys out. All right, if you guys are choosing to do the relay, this is a great opportunity to swap it out. The OEM relay is right here on this rubber keeper. You just slip it up and over. A little cumbersome in there. You could access the plug underneath, take it out, plug the TST relay in, and you're good to go. I do recommend taking this piece off by removing an additional 4mm Allen fastener. That makes it a little bit easier on your fingers. But for this installation, that's going to be it. Here we're going to replace the left side panel, and then we'll be done. All right, guys, just a couple minutes to go from pumpkin signals to these high-tech robot eye looking units. I really like the effect on this bike, and it doesn't really take a long time to install them, and it's pretty simple in the installation mode. A couple little nuances, but we showed you the steps. I hope you agree with me that this is a great enhancement to the aesthetics of this bike. And if you want more information, check out some photos, see all the different accent-like choices, please visit tstindustries.com. Also check out our integrated taillight for this bike. It's a great unit, 108 LEDs, really bright, really cool light patterns, programmable, sequential. And that's pretty much it for me. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.